Welcome to VetTween.
This episode is brought to you by KitCaster. KitCaster books you on top podcasts. How do funded startup founders attract prospects and talent? Podcast interviews. How do entrepreneurs with exits find new deals? Podcast interviews. How do C-suite execs differentiate in crowded markets? Podcast interviews. KitCaster books you on top podcasts. Click the link in the show notes for a special offer. Celebrate good conversation.
This podcast is brought to you by BitIRA, my affiliate partner. BitIRA leads the industry in helping consumers diversify their retirement accounts with cryptocurrency investments. Why BitIRA? Because they are among the most secure and compliant digital IRA solutions, guys, providers on the market. Their uncompromising commitment to security includes storing consumers' cryptocurrency in cold storage within grade V nuclear bunkers, protecting consumers' stored cryptocurrency with end-to-end insurance, complying proactively with regulations by using regulated exchanges and registering with the U.S. government. Every asset class carries its own set of advantages. The key is achieving your financial objectives and growing your wealth is understanding those advantages and learning to balance your investments across a range of appropriate asset classes suited to your unique situation. So per notice 2014 to 2021 from the Internal Revenue Services, digital currencies are treated as personal properties for tax purposes, thus making them eligible to be held inside a digital IRA account. That means that any gains you occur through your digital currency investments remain tax-free until you withdraw them from your retirement account as a distribution. And here's something else that many people don't know. If you sell your digital currencies within your IRA without taking a distribution, any gains that you may have made can be reinvested in other asset classes. In other words, your IRA does not need to remain entirely in digital assets to keep this tax deferred designation. The current cryptocurrencies you can actually invest in BitIRA are Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Chainlink, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Zcash, and Stellar Lumens. Welcome to the future. I'm BioChefT, and guys, click my BitIRA link, affiliate link, right in the description to learn more and get yourself a free guide on digital IRAs. Peace. Stuff. Let's head over to healthline.com where we were talking about how 20 minutes can actually benefit you, benefit your heart. 20 minutes of exercise a day may help keep the doctor away, especially when it comes to heart health, according to a new study. The study published February 14 in the journal Heart found that 20 minutes of daily moderate to vigorous exercise in older age, 70 to 75, may best stave off major heart disease, including heart failure, in later older age, 80 years and older. It's not news that exercise is good for heart health and prolonging a healthy life, but what the findings reinforce is that even small actions can make a big difference for overall health. So exercise and heart health. So while experts have found that exercises leads to another heart health, few studies have narrowed in on specifically whether exercise later in life can help prevent heart disease in older age. For this new study, researchers looked at data from the Progetto Veneto, a study involving 99 Italians ages 65 or older. Blood tests were carried out between 95 and 97, with two more assessments 4 and 7 years later. The health of the participants was tracked until 2018. What the study found was that increasing levels of physical activity as well as maintaining an active lifestyle over time were associated with lower risks of cardiovascular disease and death in both men and women participants. In quotes, this study reinforces that we know about the importance of incorporating physical activity into daily life, said Dr. Rachel Maria Brown Talaska, Director of Inpatient Cardiac Services at Lenox Hill Hospital. In quotes, any activity is better than none, and starting later in life is better than never starting an exercise regimen. Older patients should not feel age is a limiting factor when maintaining or initiating a fitness plan, she said. Most of the study participants demonstrated active physical activity patterns over time, which were associated with a 52% lower risk of cardiovascular disease among men, compared with participants with stable low patterns. The strongest association were observed among men in this study, but researchers note that women who did more physical activity also had uh, consistently lower incidence rates of almost all cardiovascular outcomes. Really great stuff. They also talk about how to incorporate physical activity later in life. They get into that. Um, they tap into 6 best diets for heart health, which is really important. And it looks like, yeah, they do list it out, starting with number one, the Mediterranean diet, they list there. Number two, the DASH diet. Number three, vegan and vegetarian diets. Number four, flexitarian diets. Number five, the TLC diet. Um, and number six, lower carb diets. So interesting stuff. Uh, they also get into how to choose a heart healthy diet. So, really informative information here. The bottom line is several diets have been shown to boost heart health. Despite their differences, these eating patterns all emphasize whole, minimal processed foods and restrict processed ones, especially those high in added sugar and saturated fat. Of course, diet is just one of the pieces of the equation to support your heart health. It is also important to exercise regularly, refrain from smoking, and find ways to reduce your stress levels. Great article, guys. Check it out. Link is going to be in the podcast description. Or if you're listening on YouTube, same thing. Right in the description, I'll have all the references. Click that link, read further. Read further. Excuse me. Let's move on.